And I guess I got interested in plant pathology because where I grew up in Central America, bananas were a big deal. And there was a very serious disease there called Panama disease, caused by a Fusarium cubensis, Cuba. That's got me interested in plant pathology. And then I came up here and everybody's happy, 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 until, what's wrong with the sweet potatoes? All gnarled up and you cut it open, a bunch of black spots inside. Nematodes, a root, not nematode. So that's how I got interested.
So I met Charles Averre when I started at NC State as a faculty member in 1993. And two things were obvious. One is this must be one of the nicest people I've ever met. And the other is this guy really knows his stuff.
And so he was my mentor. And we would be on the road for a couple hours together in the car, and he would turn it into a plant pathology lesson for me. And I really enjoyed that. He was a born teacher, and I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot about taking the book sense, the theoretical, and using it to solve practical problems.
I remember, this is back in the mid-1980s when he came to my husband and my farm, and we had plants on the plant bed that would not grow. And he and the county agent came. That was my first experience of meeting Dr. Averre. While the county agent talked to me and my husband, Dr. Averre went on his knees in amongst the plants, up and down the beds, pulling them, looking at them. And whenever he rose and came to where we were, he had diagnosed the problem and given us solutions that we could go forward with. He was meticulous in what he did.
So he had been interacting with some of the virologists in the department and a fruit pathologist in the department named Bob Milholland about the idea of creating virus-free and disease-free planting stock. And you could use tissue culture to actually just slice off the top few cells in the growing meristem of a sweet potato plant, grow it in tissue culture to a full plant, and it would be completely virus and disease free. And this was actually the genesis of what we call the micropropagation unit, which has been established in our department through Dr. Averre to develop disease-free planting stock of sweet potatoes.
I think his commitment was to the extension service and the university and to bring that and the growers together, because he knew the information that we had would benefit the growers.
Dr. Averre was, he was a down-to-earth, plain-spoken individual, and he was very interested in the sweet potato growers, and they're doing a better job of growing sweet potatoes. And I'm sure he was the same way in other crops that he worked with.
Well, Charles is kind of a gentle spirit, I think, soft-spoken, but when he needed to say something fairly forcefully, he could do that. Charles is a very humble person. He doesn't want to take credit for anything. He wants to bestow the credit on others, and that's what I think I know about Charles. He also is a team player.
Very early on, he was one of the key people in determining how are we going to devise this micropropagation program, how are we going to empower farmers to become certified seed specialists and specialize in growing high-quality seed. He created new business opportunities. When he started, we had 2 growers that were providing foundation seed for growers. I think we now have around a dozen. We've been up to as many as 15. Starting that, conceptualizing it, bringing the pieces together with other people to help make it work. He was really one of the key people, I think, that kind of got the ball rolling, and it's really helped our industry grow. I feel solid about that. I have no doubts about that. he would be the first to say, "Nah, it wasn't me." But in truth, he was a critical link in that chain, and that's partly why we want to honor him with naming the variety after him. Yeah.
Keep up the good work and eat lots of sweet potatoes. What else can I say?